don't want to lose your attention because it's back to trending down. Nothing is happening. Coronavirus is passing. It's killed some people, but not as much as we were told it was going to kill. And we waiting for the world to say, you know what? MERS is gone, SARS is gone, H1N1 is gone, Hong Kong flu is gone, swine flu is gone, bird flu is gone, Spanish flu is gone, bubonic plague gone, you don't have to, Ebola gone. So we're waiting for that to start to ask questions. You all panic the shit out of the world and destroy the economies. Don't get me wrong again. I know there are people who are very selective in their hearing. I am tired of telling people who come on a post. You write a post. Car for sale, brown, 4 doors, 4 tires with a spare, $900. First question, how much doors it have? Second question, what color? Third question, have a spare? Fourth color, how much you asking? Fourth question, how much you asking? Trinidad says read car for sale and come and ask a question. You don't read the whole thing. So I'm tired of putting information in the public space and people just read the first line. Like I posted today, a black man will never be Prime Minister of America. Donald Trump will never get the Republican nomination. If he gets the Republican nomination, Donald Trump will never be elected. I said those are examples of people who were so sure of their conviction of what they knew and proved to be false. So I believe the Progressive Empowerment Party have every good right and rhyme and reason to believe that we have a chance to win the election. This jackass, who I have to say, was told in school, read, cover the book and write a synopsis. Don't worry with the rest, you can figure it out as you go. Come to tell me, don't you know Barack Obama was the president of the United States twice? I have to tell him, no. When did that happen? Where I live, papers don't come, you know. I live on top of a hill. We don't have electricity. We don't have cable. You serious, a black man in America? Because you had to be a clown. And I don't know why we are so proud of our ineptitude. There's a poem I wanted to read to you tonight. Not the whole poem. The second comment by William Butler Yeats. Some of you all might know it. There is a line that says, the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. And that describes us to a T. The people who have some modicum, some level, some sprinkling of critical thinking, intelligence, logical deduction ability, still take the time to ask 2-3 questions. But the ones who know, and they know they know, but Johnny tell Mary that Sally knew William, and William saw somebody cross the road, and when he asked him where he going, he tell him, that is all the information they need to come and tell you with passionate intensity. That's how it is. I was on the radio one morning, and Fitzgerald Hines called in the radio, and I could get that tape and play it for you if they didn't purge 91.1 archives. Fitzgerald Hines called in the radio and said, he was crossing a street, stopped to shake a man's hand, who tell him he was talking to somebody else who was at a dinner, and in that dinner, somebody overhears somebody else say, Keith Rowley too black to be Prime Minister. Now I tried to work out, that's first hand, second hand, third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand, sixth hand, seventh hand. That game we used to play when you were small, called Pass the Message. Tell somebody, somebody tell somebody else, they tell somebody, by the time you reach back around by you, you get to see how much it changed. Fitzgerald Hines was certain that them 19 steps it takes to get to him, Jesus Christ reached down from heaven and wrote it on one of those pieces of stone that are lying down on Mount Sinai, waiting for the next 10 commandments. And the point I'm trying to make, though, is that we are where we are because we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we are full with passionate intensity for the wrong things. Devon Maraj called me tonight to tell me, a lawyer called him to tell him, Philip make a post that somebody don't like and they're going to send him a pre-action protocol letter. I said, well, that's my life. So Devon said, but he didn't know what to talk about. So I sent him, I said, read that. Tell me if you think that that is anything defamatory. Devon said no. But it is a country where you don't have to be really intelligent to get a degree, you know. You ever talk to people with doctorate They can't spell. Felicia Holder tear open a woman the other night to the point where I felt to go with a blanket and cover her, the woman, and take her away and say, don't feel bad, baby. Because she come on a post full of passionate intensity to tell everybody on the post that she is some school supervisor of some district, and she come to tell them how to talk and what to say. And in her lecturing them, she using green verbs and off-key grammar. And Felicia had to fill out, rewrote for her, ma'am, if you are educated as a teaching professional and you don't understand English language, you might be in the wrong field. I felt bad. So when you encounter people with massive degrees and massive positions, that don't mean they have massive intellect. It could very well be the opposite. And we live in a country where the people who wake up with the least prospects, the least, who have been done the most wrong by the political directorate, are the ones most likely to defend people like Stuart Young. Who tell you America can write we law for we? Nobody. America is not the biggest, strongest. Yes, they are. But America don't get it because they said it. Yes. Global politics have nobody that you could write, you know. Ask Iraq. Ask Lebanon, Yemen, Iran, Syria. Ask Venezuela. When the United States of America trades with you, it's like they shine the sunshine on you. Because being a trading partner of the world's #1 consumer, people just talk about China this and China that. China is like Mario Sabga Abood in Trinidad. Mario making some mediocre burger and pizza and chicken and selling to people. China making plastic shit and selling to people. Who is the people? America. America is the largest consuming nation on planet Earth. If America stops buying from China, China will implode tomorrow. And anybody that America says, do not buy from China, that goes to buy from China with money they're making from America, America will stop buying from them. I see people writing on the wall, Bitcoin will end the US reign and the Chinese dollar will replace the US reign. No, it can't. Consumption, demand, and credit. See those three things? Consumption, demand, and credit. That's what upholds all global economies in the new world of the one world market. You must have demand, you must have consumption, you must have credit to make it happen. All three of those things are America. All three. All three. The Western way of life. That's where it's from. Now, I'm not telling you if this is right or wrong. I'm just telling you what is. So when you're throwing tantrums and saying, we will take on we will take on Donald Trump. It's like the joke with the mosquito on the back of the elephant that decided he's going to have sex with the elephant. And while the elephant walking, a coconut fall on his head, on her head, and she said, ow! And the mosquito said, take iron. That's who we are. Because we mean nothing to nobody in this world. We can't give our oil and gas away. We cannot trade with anybody. What we selling? What we selling? If America only shift, Mohammed can sell SM Jalil bullshit. Because they already talk about it twice. I have read reports on Chubby. That Chubby is being marketed to school children and it is poison in a bottle. If America only shift, Mohammed over. SM Jalil done. Think I lie? Ask him. Who you gonna buy? Lockjack pig food? We importing the substrate that makes corn curls, Bigfoot, cheesesteak, all of that comes from America. All the salt, all the powder, all the flavor, make it taste like barbecue, make it taste like pineapple, make it taste like coconut rum, all of that coming from America. And if they stop supplying and if they stop buying, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? And this is our reality, all our paper, all our packaging, all our fanciness. And if somebody set up in Trinidad and Tobago to assemble the paper and the packaging, they buy the dyes and they buy the inks from America. Then somebody set up to do the inks and so they buy the cobalt and all the other color bases from America, because that's the global market that we're living in. And we have to know this so that when we get a little full of ourselves to say, America can't tell we what to do, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You live in America backyard. And America doesn't care about Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to tell this to the people, and this wasn't the purpose of this thing, you know. But you see, coronavirus gave Donald Trump a black eye. The man don't care that people could say all the thing about his hair and his skin and how he did talk, and he has a grotesque Neanderthal sometimes. And you could say that, and he don't mind. But he don't like to fail. He don't like that. He don't like that COVID-19 gave him a black eye. And he vexed about that. Because he was on record putting Obama on the spot for Ebola. And it come back and bite him in his ass. And he vexed. And he want to take on China. He want to take on China bad. So the saber rattling is trying to draw. Because America don't want to invade China. And China don't want to invade America. Because after all the bullshit done, they still want to go back to trading with each other and everybody living nice. So they need a theater of operation. They need something to fight over and somewhere to fight. And that is ever increasingly growing to be Venezuela. Venezuela has put itself in an unenviable place that 3 of the biggest bullies in the world are gearing up to fight. And the Africans, they have an African saying, say when elephants fight, grass get trampled. Venezuela gonna get trampled. And enter into that Trinidad and Tobago with all of our misguided, misdirected, greedy SOBs up at the top there that feel they could send a shipment to Venezuela and see what they make and look to see what America do. And if America don't do nothing, they make a 10 million or 20 million, well, boy, Venezuela, all your gas, we will source it and ship it. And they play a shell game with the country that owns the internet. They play a shell game with the country that tracks everything that takes place in the world. And try to hide, we bought fuel from somebody. Not by accident, based on a plan. So from the time the plan was hatched and Trinidad bought fuel from somebody, if it in any way impacted the price of gas or fuel in this region, it registered somewhere. Now it's just a shipment, it's not much, but it registered. Somebody know that Jim had 10 ships to sell, he now have 9 because he sell one to Trinidad. Okay, let's pay attention to where that's going. Everybody knows Trinidad used to have the largest refinery in the world. We mashed that up. Trinidad had one of the oldest oil industries in the world. We mashed that up because we have a virus called PNM. PNM took Tate and Lyle, changed it to Caroni and destroy it. PNM made a functioning train system and destroy it so that bandit PNM financiers could thief out the train line and sell it by the pound. You think it's now the old battery buying and iron and steel buying? Now, you think it's now? Plenty millionaires that driving wrong in this country today, driving Porsche and Audi and Benz, thief teak forest from Tantique, thief train line and sell it by the pound and repurpose the steel and sell it as steel beams. Watch now, it's a little bit of bandit we have in this country, and boy, hey, Mr. So-and-so boy, how you going? How the wife? She needs some Karaili, I will drop some for she later. We have no self-respect, we have no dignity, we don't care, you could be a bandit. If you're a successful bandit, you're Mr. So-and-so. The PNM is the virus that has destroyed Trinidad and Tobago, has ruined everything, but the Americans know. So they ruined sugar, they ruined cocoa, they ruined the train line, they ruined everything in Point Lisas. Go on, you know. Everything, with nobody talking. But Point Lisas is a ghost town. Point Lisas right now is a ghost town. Some small level service companies that looking for a bailout right now because they used to work for Promen and Yara and Metanex and all these companies. They're gone. There's nobody to serve. They have nobody to provide any service to. So all them companies that build up nice and dress up sweet, they closing down too. That's the truth. P&M destroyed all of that. And that is the virus that this country has. And the Americans know that. So when Trinidad buy fuel, somebody somewhere had to say, let's see what's going on with that. And then they realize the fuel is going to Aruba. Is Trinidad a traditional supplier of fuel to Aruba? If yes, you catch me. If no, let's watch that. And boss, the ship stopped by Aruba and then left. Yeah? Tell me where it's going. It looked like it going Venezuela, boss. So a ship went away from Trinidad to go to Venezuela when it was a 5-hour journey. Are they deliberately trying to con us? And the Americans, at some point, even if Rowley and crew hide it, even if they hide it, some sanction is going to take place. And it is not Rowley and his 1% contract mafia friends who are going to pay that sanction. It is you and your family and your loved ones and your children and your grandchildren, and you're defending the bullshit, and it is you it's going to fall on in Trinidad and Tobago. So we wake up today to a day that feel like a whole week. The whole week passed because from the moment we wake up this morning, I feel like I was in a newsroom, and I tell people last night, they tell me I blight myself. I say I'm taking a break tomorrow unless they end up in any kind of stupidness. Well, from the moment I opened my eyes this morning on a treadmill, we hear Rowley daughters get thrown out of America. I don't know if that's true. We're still waiting on a final thing from that. And don't listen to Anselm Leborn. Anselm Leborn, they sit down home and he draws, call people on the phone to have an internet show for 9 people and call himself a journalist. So when Anselm Leborn debunking stuff, you ask him, bro, where's your source? What about it? Who giving you info? Tell me. Because if your info is the same info we getting off the P&M page, we don't need you. And I have to tell him today, stay in your lane, son. Don't come near me. I don't need to go through you to question my government. You run away from here. You claim you're a big P&M supporter, but you run away from the P&M virus to live in America. So pat all the way down. I here. I fighting them here. And I am waiting for the Express to run a front page story. It is because of people like me, Express had no choice today but to run that front page story. Stuart Young must go. And while they're doing their witch hunt in the Ministry of National Security and the Immigration Department, trying to find how we get the information out today, that is the same political party that come to government promising whistleblower protection. We will protect the people and end the corruption. Miss me with that, Rowley. Miss me with that. You have 2 tongues in your mouth and you use both of them to lie. You and Stuart Young are 2 sides of the same deceiver. The same deception. Trinidad and Tobago knows now, because of me, people like Devon Maraj, who the court say is not media, no problem. That'll be media to be media, you know. Court don't recognize you. Donald Cox don't recognize you. You don't even have to be inside. They blasted whatever they call that circus that they have every day with Rowley and them talking shit. We could be outside here and influence the entire function of the country, as we have done. So when your Minister of National Security tells the world, we had no information on the plane and who was coming on the plane, and we released a document that showed you knew the plane make, the plane maker, the plane date, the plane number, everybody on the plane and the passport number, you look like an ass. And Keith Rowley is now inside there trying to make his star pupil or his boss, depending on whose information you're taking, because some people believe that old man Young just put Stuart there to protect his investment. I don't know. Not in a position to say. But what I can tell you is, Stuart Young has been caught with his pants around his ankles. And this is not the same kind of trip and fall that he do in Pinal. He damaged his shoulder. He damaged his entire, for the rest of his life, reputation. He has been found to be the most egregious of liars. And Trinidadians, not even PNM people, could defend the act they get catching. So when I went outside the Prime Minister's house and did a video called Lie After Lie After Lie, and I've shown Trinidad and Tobago that every single one of them, Kate Rowley lying, Stuart Young lying, Colm Imbert lying, Dial Singh lying, all of them lying, all, and you not making noise yet. Somebody asking, what about Angus Young? I don't care about Angus Young. Give me political power. Let me find out if any of the actions and the activities that Angus Young was engaged in were illegal, and then we will talk about him. If not, welcome to the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of invest in politics, get your government in office, and take what you want to take. That's who we are. And some of you all outside there, nice play, nice play. I'm liking it. Where's the popcorn? Bring the popcorn. Boop, cough in your face. Oh God, Rowley, you just cough. Good boy. That is the stupidness of Trinidad and Tobago. And it is the same people who kick out Kamla to bring in Rowley, saying, you know what? It's time to put back Kamla. It's like, oh, they just want a continuing series of how to ruin Trinidad and Tobago, the never-ending saga. When do we mature as a people and say, okay, how about we find the right people for the job? How about we find people who, what they say makes sense? People just tell me, Philip, I hear every politician talk like you. I say, bullshit. No other politician ever talk the talk as talk. No other politician ever talk the solutions as talk. Because I did years of research before I came here. It was going to be a book. It was actually going to be a book called Reinventing Trinidad and Tobago, the Common Sense Guide to a Better Republic. And that is the book, that is the information that is functioning as Reboot the Republic, the manifesto of the Progressive Empowerment Party. And it is not mine, successfully excludes. That's the first line of the thing. That I've spoken to the ex-directors of public prosecutions and high court judges and ministers and MPs and presidents. I have gotten information from all around the world, because that's how you fix something. You do some research, identify the problem, you find the solution. 90-10, 90% spent on the solution. So the book was supposed to be that. Nobody else ever come to tell you that we're not supposed to have a flood and drought season. If we have retention ponds, it prevents the floods and it holds the water, that gives you water in the drought. You can throw away your tank and your water pump. Nobody else ever talked to you about that before, because all of them getting kickback from all the people who are making money from flood and drought. Flood season, all them people with truck and backhoe making money. Drought season, all them people with truck and water tank on the back of the truck making money. Drought season, water bottle. Listen, and they found a way. They found a way to make you so silly that you are in a flood, in a drought, because you're standing up to your hips in flood water and you have no water in your pipe 6 days now. Them little boys who skate that water on Fitzgerald Hines, they skate that water in frustration. And in another country, he might have get away worse off. And I can't believe they take them little fellas to court and get them in trouble. But you know what? Big people, large, big office holders, they just feel like the dick by the knee. They dodge. You know why is? No problem. When you go by the doctor, he tell you what you have. Or you get a call on your child or your wife or your loved one. I know a judge and his wife was driving down the Beetham Highway, and a vehicle leave one side and fly over onto the other side, land upside down on them and kill them both. When things falling for you, as talk about Carlos Sabgo all the time, Carlos Sabgo was at the height, Francis Hadid was at the height of his power. You can't be, ask Derek Chin, where he now come from. Medical is fine here, or bad news is fine. I tell you, I get a call, 2 o'clock one morning, my sister, kidney fail, heart attack. She didn't make it. Just so. Buy your flowers. Buy your freaking flowers. So for all of them who think that they could get on bad and live large, I want to hear the story that make Fitzgerald Hines cry. I don't want to be the one responsible to inflict it. I tell people all the time, step back, let God deal with it. Because he knows exactly what it takes to make, no matter who you think you are, hold your head and bawl. Bawl. I went Sabga funeral. They reserved the whole of country club as a car park. They put tents all outside Assumption Church. And nobody used them. Because he dead, he gone. Nobody care anymore. Next. And we have to live this world. All of us. We have to live here. And I'm telling everybody, we have to live with respect not only for each other, but respect for the phone call. Respect for the opportunity. I got in an accident in 2008. A truck came out of a minor road without mashing his brakes, slammed into the Prado I was driving, and sent us spiraling. Cost me a year of my life and $350,000 in medical and 4 surgeries. I tell people all the time, if I was going to open that Prado and drop my key and bend down to pick up that key to get back up to go in the Prado to drive, that truck missed me. The truck missed me. That's the kind of timing we're talking about. Live this life. Live this life knowing that that's the kind of timing you're talking about. Live this life knowing that, boy, no matter how big you are, boy, you wake up tomorrow and you have a twinge in your little finger or pain in a tooth that the dentist can't find the problem. They go and check, boy. I could tell you these stories. You know these stories. Everybody know these stories about people. I mean, every time you hear, hey, Olio, put out a call, we need blood for so-and-so. Whoa, so-and-so gone missing. We can't find them. So-and-so boat. They're seeing them on the radar. And you know, fingers crossed, toes crossed, and you're praying, oh God, this could end one of 2 ways. And I'm telling you, you know, the way these people live and behave in Trinidad and Tobago is like you have all the say, but you don't. When that truck hit that Prado that I was driving, at that moment, my whole world changed forever. And I am so glad. And I thank God every single day. The truck hit 6 inches behind where my son was sitting on the front passenger side. And that could have been so much worse for me. I could have died, he could have died, I could have been crippled, I could have lost my arm. All kind of things could have happened. And I'm just saying all of this, inside of this, because we move, those of us with some authority, we move like, you know, I read the papers today and Asha Javid write an article, the Express has had sight of the contract. Who the frig are you? Who are you, Asha Javid? Who is the Express? That is a public document that is risking sanction to this country. You think the United States of America give an ass about the Express? Or who lying down in Stuart Young bed watching contract with him? If a contract exists, put it in the public space and hush. If there is a clause that mitigates against Aruba sending it on to Venezuela, just publish that and hush your mouth. We don't need your opinion. But the fact that you have to verify what your man's saying, telling me that it's still a finish, grind out and fabricate that contract, and I believe that it's gone by the same people who they sent to grind out and fabricate Emailgate. Emailgate styling. Wait for the contract. It come in. But we waiting too. Because we not stopping investigating. We have our information. We keep some of our powder dry. So every time they talk, I tell you, I was playing a game when the UNC was in power and the fire engine ran off the road. And they said it went off a precipice. We said no, it went off the side of the road. Must be 10 meters. I can't remember how far it was now. And and they send a minister to describe the precipice. So I released the pictures of where the fire truck was. And they say, well, because of where it was, it had required 3 days, 97 men, cranes, blocks, total $5 million. And they sent the man in charge of the company. I can't remember his name now. He put out a release and he described it, and they had lunch catered. The man gave us a breakdown of the lunches that were catered for the 97 workers that retrieved that fire truck. And then I released the video where one of these roadworks company like Junior Sammy or Kusals and a backhoe, not a backhoe, an excavator, pull it back on the road and drag it up on a truck, and they drive away in 15 minutes. Nobody ever talk again. Never talk about it again. But there was nobody to take that information, to act on that information and say, wait. Hold up, selector. A crime has been committed. No. Because in Trinidad, we've eaten our popcorn. What's next? And the governments and the political parties know that. So they release some shit to you. They release some crap. I remember listening to Marlene McDonald tell Anil Roberts once in the parliament, room 201, not you. And that was 6 months before the PNM dropped that video. They just time you and they just hold the bacchanal until we playing that game too. We playing that game too. We holding the room 201s too. Don't worry. The game will get stinky, get nasty, get dangerous. I tell my people. So what you interfering here with is $1 billion of criminal money. People who just wake up in the morning, put on shirt and tie, spray Paco Rabanne on their pubic hair and tell them, honey, make sure the children are safe in the school today. And then going down the road, like they're important to society and they're living well and they're doing right, but they're thieving for a living. The people who are importing the cocaine into Trinidad and Tobago don't look like the people they see them locking up and dragging through the courts, you know. The people who are importing that sitting in the front pew of the church, making a big stretch with the $100 they dropping in that basket for you to see. People who doing them thing on all kind of fancy organization, association, responsible for all manner of things. Trinidad and Tobago, understand yourself. This is not a game anymore. In the post-coronavirus COVID-19 world, the entire globe is in a recession. Some say it might even be a depression. We are about to experience a global interruption. We're not feeling it yet, you know. The supply chain has momentum. I keep telling people that. I remember when I was talking to the guy in charge of Pepsi in Trinidad, he was telling me why they wanted to change from returnable bottles. He said to have returnable bottles, one case of returnable bottles of Pepsi has a case in the customer house, a case on the shelf in the grocery, a case in the back store of the grocery, a case on the truck, all empties there, a case on the warehouse floor of the company, a case in the factory. All of those cases to protect the one case they sell the customer. That is the momentum of the supply chain. The supply chain still making shit that they collected 3 months, 4 months, 5 months ago. And a lot of it is still in warehouse moving through. But the gap is going to be what didn't get dealt with for the 2-3 months that the world was interrupted. What wasn't made, what wasn't printed, what wasn't fabricated. They're going to try, like they're going to try with the school children. They have a whole year gap now, you know. We are going to have a year of no interns in the medical profession. The year 4s supposed to be year 5s, but they can't be. And the year 3s are supposed to be year 4s. So we have a double year 4, no year 5, and no interns. And that's just medical students. That's just that. So understand, what is coming at us is a reality And I said to people, when you got that Zeppo from Rowley, and all you run down in Price Mart and buy out all the toilet paper, that's all right. But a day could come when you do that buyout and they have none to come back. And you pass by the same grocery the next day and the shelves empty because the back store empty, because the trucks empty, they're delivering from empty warehouses, because the ships were empty, because the manufacturers were empty. We have a time right now, if you had a proper government in office, it would be growing food at a rate. All in the savannah had a plant tomato, just to make sure that people could find something to eat, because it could come that we can't get. And the world is facing that. Supply chain, and worse yet, now that the oil price has collapsed, companies could go under. COVID-19 and the collapsed oil price could push them over, and that could push over countries. So everything have to find back its new normal. But that ain't happening so. So you have to be prepared to know that some of the things that you're accustomed to in your life not going to be available. You cannot continue to vote as if business as usual is even remotely possible now. It's not. The two political parties that want to tell you that you need to choose from one of them have both lied repeatedly to you, have both come into office, blamed the other, left office, having done nothing of value for nobody, and looted the treasury for their friends and their finances. The police service was left as crap, the education system, the healthcare system, the court system, the fact that we grow our food, our water distribution system, nothing works in Trinidad and Tobago as a direct result of the failure of the PNM and the UNC to properly do their job. And yes, I know that the PNM was there longer than the UNC, but the UNC had 10 years. And in that time, they did what they needed to get done. They got what they wanted done. The problem is, the things that they wanted to get done was not in your best interest or in the best interest of the people in Trinidad and Tobago. And I know how easy it is to want to pull me down and shut me up, because the things that I talk about, the things that I come to you and talk about every night, frightening for you to hear. But imagine the people who benefiting from the criminality and their little lemmings that running around trying to defend it. Hush him up. Hush him up. He is telling the people that the Coast Guard grounded in Chagaramas when the cocaine coming in down by Cedros. Hush him up. Hush him up for telling the people that the 42,000 guns in the country can't get picked up until we stop bringing in illegal guns. And we won't stop bringing in illegal guns until we secure the borders and build the maritime security wall. Hush him up. Hush him up for telling the people of Trinidad and Tobago that water could be solved. Hush him up because we want to sell tank and we want to sell water bottle. Hush him up. Hush him up. The food bill is $5 billion US. We want to be able to import and sell your kale for $45 in Price Mart and call it a savings, even though if we grow it here and sell it at a profit, it's $3. Hush him up. Trinidad and Tobago, this is not a nice mission. This is a rescue mission. Anybody going to that office right now, anybody goes into that Prime Minister's office right now is going to have to give the people of Trinidad and Tobago real representation. And that is undoing and redoing all of our legislation. Most of it is outdated, imported from the Commonwealth and the Queen. We have rules that guide us to nothing. It's like the house that was built by the woman, the wife of the Winchester fortune, who went mad and built a house till she died, and every day she added on the next piece, and they have steps that goes up to ceilings and doors that opens to walls. That's how our legislation and our laws are. And judges and them sit down there and try to do the best with crazy rules and a system that don't make sense, and they're watching people profiteer from a criminal justice system that could work a lot better than it does, and politicians that come on platforms and pay platitudes and lip services to nonsense that they're getting kickbacks for, lying to your face. As Kurt Russell said, put on coat, swear oath to cut your throat. The reality of Trinidad and Tobago is that we are what we are because we have chosen that this would be who we are. We allowed our country to be ruined by some rowdy repurates and their flunky functionaries in Parliament. It is time to fix that. And there is only one way to absolutely do that, and that is to take responsibility for the country that you live in, to present a real opportunity. And I don't mean those people. Glenn Leanza today talk about Winston Ragu. He say he want people to be more like Winston Ragu. Election call, what Ragu running for? Besides his life, what he running for? He not in nobody party. He waiting for Ganga Singh to get back in with UNC to give him some contract. And I don't want to talk about charlatans like him. But people like him and the others who talking, who not presenting you with a political option, taking you out on a date to romance you, to get in your pants and then leave you. They have no long-term plan with them. And you not looking for a one-night stand politically. You looking for somebody or somebodies to come along and say, listen, baby, I'll take care of you. Here is my solutions. Here's my proposal. Here's my plan, long-term. Stop paying attention to the political charlatans and noisemakers who have nothing to offer you come election time. The PNM and the UNC are two sides of the same cancerous coin. You cannot hold one of them down and get a straight answer to a question. Somebody tell me, Carolyn Sipasad Bechan going to replace Robert Lee Hunt. I don't know if that is true, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because these people are like stickers. You peel it and stick it anywhere. It's time for Trinidad and Tobago to stop the politics of bacchanal, misdirection, and noise. And if Carolyn Sipasad Bechan really wants to help Trinidad and Tobago, yes, she missed her opportunity. The COP died under her. She ended up captain of a sinking ship. I understand that. But there's still room for her, and we told her, come aboard, we'll make you Minister of Energy. Come here. You go PNM. What are you saying about all the work that you've done all your life and all the words you've said? Yesterday was yesterday and today is today. That is the opposite of integrity. And we need to stop supporting that. We need to get to a place where all of us get treated with respect. That our politics are a pathway to leadership and governance. Anything else?
Show them no mercy.
point. That's the whole point. If you're dating him and he's treating you bad, end it. Don't go back to the last man who was treating you bad before that you ended with because you know him. Telling me this shit about the devil, I know. Find a new devil. Somebody could turn out to be an angel. You don't know. And you can't continue to pretend that I'm going to put up with nonsense because things could get worse. There is no way Trinidad could get worse. We flood for 6 months and drought for 6 months. They have no way. During the freaking rainy season, when water is falling out of the sky from a tropical depression, I kid you not, WASA is spending $17,000 in full-page ads warning you that you can't use your garden hose because the reservoir low. And Satish Ramsaran put out a meme saying, I'm going to go and live by the reservoir because everywhere there's flood and take rain but day. It's a fact. We've been misled and led astray. We've been ruined. This country has been ruined. This is the Garden of Eden. They turn it into the Garden of Gethsemane. This is the place where God touched and he said, you know what? Everything here will work. And nothing works. PNM and UNC have made a mockery of God's intention. A mockery. And now Keith Rowley calling religious charlatans coming to get money. Your religion based on you taking money from a political operative in a country that separates church from state. Or you're playing me for a fool. So you taking directions from a political directorate to go and sell your flock so you could eat nice. And that person in Trinidad and Tobago for religion. Gandhi would slap some of you in all your face. Christ would spit on you. This is not the religion of peace and love and compassion and all inclusion that these people stood for. And you're out here stunting and fooling, putting on gong and wearing robe. Stop it. Have the decency to stand up for the book that you're preaching. You're preaching things from a holy book and you're living an unholy lie. Stop it. Your flock coming to you for guidance and direction like this come to me and you're leading them astray. Stop it. Mr. Imam, Mr. Pundit, Mr. Preacher, Mr. Priest. When you get up in front of that, if you really believe in God, any kind of God, if you really believe, tell your people the truth. Dean Ramnarine asking, will the PEP revise all laws? And we just say that. So I can only assume that Dean Ramnarine just arrived. Yes, Dean, we will undo and redo all of it. All of it. Priests, pundits, preachers, imams, bell ringers, all you don't have to be up under politicians to fix your flock. You have the power to bring light and the word, good word to your people. And instead you take in misdirection to come and misdirect them more. You better really hope they are no God. Apologies, Dean. But I'm saying we actually just spoke about it like 5 minutes ago. So when the video done, watch it again. Because we dealt with that. But yes, all our legislation need to undo and redo. We got it all. From the Queen and the Commonwealth, we imported it wholesale and a lot of it does not apply. That's what I said. Yeah? I like that, Ali Sek, your 17-year-old son is correct. We don't mix matters here. I want to live in a world where people have dignity and respect for each other, but we come at each other from places of character, morality, ethics, integrity, because we're not going to go forward playing shoo-shoo games, laughing at one another, stabbing each other in the back, playing race game. I mean, the nastiness we talked about each other in 2020. I watched Joel D'Souza. Joel D'Souza was insulted by Max Richards' daughter, Maxine Richards. And the things that I know that some of these bitches do with their life. And she come in to give Joel D'Souza talk because of decisions Joel made. Maxine, how you will feel, girl, if people was commenting on the way you live your life too? You'll have to stop that shit. Joel D'Souza is somebody I have the greatest respect for, and some of your religious hypocrites have a problem with how Joel chooses to live her life, but all you're fornicating like freaking rabbits, horning and adulterating, and don't give a shit who know and who care. Getting video taken of all you in car outside Mapao, sexing with people that have nothing to do with all you. That is Trinidad and Tobago, and talking about other people. We need to stop that. The Progressive Empowerment Party has two policies, and we say, we don't care who you're lying down with at night, and we don't care who you're praying to. Those things have nothing to do with us. It doesn't affect the level of governance we give to you. All people in Trinidad and Tobago are entitled to the same treatment and the same respect from government, regardless of the choices they made. At some point, somebody has to explain to me why government had ever any right legislating people's religion and their faith if it wasn't for money. And somebody have to explain to me why government's legislating who people getting to lie down with at night when the very churches had people molesting people. And I'm not trying to spit in people's food. I'm trying to tell Trinbagonians, let us stop living this nasty life tripping one another. I could know you and respect you regardless of the choices you make. That's your life. Wayne Dyer set it for me perfectly when he said, my right to swing my fist stops at your right to not be hit in the face. And I like that. That is my sphere of influence. That is where I'm protected, and I will live with that. Trinidad and Tobago needs to be the kind of country it was meant to be. And some of us spitting down on one another, bad talking one another, mashing up one another name. And the real people we're supposed to be paying attention to, we give them all the love and the respect, and they're beating me mercilessly. I don't know. Maybe God will hear this video tonight. Maybe the God of all the religions will hear this video tonight, and maybe she will touch all the hearts and all the minds and tell them, listen, it is time now to come together. I didn't come to save the saved. I came to save the broken. All of us broken in some way. All of us have something or some things in our lives that we prefer stay hidden. Let me stop. And I hope that at some point we get to a place where we realize my role in this society is to act as part of the collective so that we could all enjoy our own individual lives. I don't have to dictate your life for you. Don't ever put God out your thoughts to dictate mine for me. Tomorrow night, Monday night, and I have completely forgotten and I cannot find my other phone. So Satish will tell you who is Monday night. I think tomorrow night is David Naked, if I am not mistaken. David Naked tomorrow night. We were supposed to have Louis Leasing on Tuesday, but Louis called us today to tell us he cannot make it. We have an excellent replacement for Tuesday night, but I can't announce it just because we're confirming. So tomorrow, Trinidad and Tobago, tomorrow we wake up with a new opportunity to right-size our broken country. Let us not waste it. All the stunts that are about to happen, all the shell games and the misdirection, as Keith Rowley trying to defend his broken and corrupt government from a broken and corrupt opposition. It is time for you to say, fire burn all of that. Let the west wind and the east wind blow them away. It is time for the north wind to bring in the fresh breeze of a brand new day. It is time for a better country for all of us, and we can have it. We can have it. Stop being misdirected. I told somebody today, a political party don't owe nobody vote, you know. It's a perception that because you're Indian, you're voting UNC. It's a perception because you're black, you're voting PNM. This is what the perception must be. Everybody voting PEP. We want a better country. You see that half Syrian? We want to put him in office. Think you get worse, and I feel he will make things nice. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.